I had a delicious carbonara planned,
Yummy.
but it's going to keep me up too late because of pasta belly,
Because of pasta.
and carb digestion. Ooh, digestion, carb digestion.
Carb digestion.
That's going to keep me awake. So
Sure.
I'm going to try and just go immediately to bed because
You woke up for this, and you're going to go back to sleep after this.
pretty much.
That's how dedicated you are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I appreciate that.
Whoa. I think a combination of I think I've got one of the medication side effects, and I've caught another bug. The two things are conspiring to make me tired and snotty and bunged up.
That's not
And
fun.
yesterday I woke up sounding like Barry White. Like I was just like, yeah, like a very hoarse Barry White. But worse things happen at sea. How are you?
Happy Thanksgiving. That's how I am.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy thanks actual giving.
Thanksgiving. Yes.
Yes.
What are you thankful for, my European friend who doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving?
European.
You're still within the continent of Europe. Whether y'all want to y'all want to secede or not.
Yes, but I think
And all of Europe doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving.
no, but British identity would probably put itself first above
Sure.
European. That's a slightly more Americocentric viewpoint. I once heard the British office described by Sarah. Oh, what was her name? Lisa from Friends as the European office, and it's like my.
Sure. Yeah. No, I get that, but also you just referred to me as American, and that's the continent,
North
and
American.
not the.
You were saying
Exactly.
you Asian. You say Asian.
You're not calling me a United Statesian.
No,
So,
but
I'm just equal
what does the
ground
song
here.
say? You're
Equal
proud.
ground.
The song does not say you're proud to be a Usasian. I'm proud to be
And Russians
from
are Asians.
the exact country of the United States of America.
There you go.
I am thankful for my friends and the fact that yesterday I had two of them round to watch Planes, Trains and Automobiles,
Nice.
and I made Thai food-ish.
Sweet. Ish.
Yeah, no, it was nice. It was just, I threw a bunch of things in a pot, threw in some Thai curry paste and some coconut milk and called it a day.
That's all. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, and made a big thing of rice. So I'm thankful for that. And there was
Awesome.
cheesecake. What are you thankful for?
God.
That would seem quite on brand, actually, to be thankful for God. For Brendan.
Yes. I appreciate God.
Hey, God, appreciate you.
Hey, God. Thanks.
Looking out for you, big man.
Thanks.
Keep
Title.
kicking it.
Margaret, of course. Music. Been very grateful for music lately. Friendship also. Been feeling really connected with my friends and safe in that container. The cottage, my house. I feel very grateful for that. Work and my clients. That has been a wonderful safety net and journey. And that Carl's moving out soon. That's also,
Wow.
I'm very grateful that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. It's a combination of practicing gratitude and eating a big tasty meal. Like what's better?
What's not to love?
What's not to love? I updated my pumpkin pie recipe.
Ooh.
I have kind of a unique pumpkin pie recipe that a lot of people seem to like. I don't know. I think they're not humoring me. I think they actually really like it. And it's like one of my friends called it a healthy pumpkin pie. I'm like, no, it's not healthy. It's a whole food pumpkin pie.
Okay.
So instead of using sugar, I use dates blended with the pumpkin, with real pumpkin. Not it's always real pumpkin, but a whole pumpkin that I bake and then blend with the dates instead of using it from a can. And I typically use heavy cream instead of sweetened condensed milk. And lately I've been using still heavy cream, but less of it, and then adding 2 shots of decaf espresso. And it is so good, dude.
Yeah.
Plus salt and spices and yeah, lots of vanilla, lots of cinnamon. Yeah, some good chunky sea salt. Mm-hmm. Fresh nutmeg and fresh ginger, both freshly grated. Both of those. That's very important. Some clove. I'm not a big fan of clove, but I had that in there anyway. And man, it is so good, dude.
Yeah.
It's really it comes out the perfect temperature, perfect texture, and the flavors. I mean, obviously, like, you know, I thought of it because of pumpkin spice latte, PSL. Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it.
Shout out.
They hate to love it. And I was like, what if pumpkin spice is good in a coffee drink? Why wouldn't coffee be good in a pumpkin spice pie?
Good lateral thinking.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked really well. I've done it.
Nice.
I've done two batches of 2 now, and they've come out great. And I'm really proud of that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what other things will you be consuming today?
Yeah, I think so we're going to Margaret's parents' house. That's our usual tradition for Thanksgiving dinner. It'll be her parents and her brother, Margaret and me. And I think I'm pretty sure there'll be a turkey. Tim is making shepherd's pie. Margaret is making some delicious rolls. I have made the pumpkin pie and a tart cranberry sauce. It's just cranberry, 1 apple that was cooked down into sauce and then blended into like almost a foam.
Wow.
So it's not really chunky like applesauce. It's really smooth. And the juice and zest of a blood orange.
Ooh.
Plus a little cardamom and cinnamon and sea salt. And it is tasty. And I think there'll be probably some, I think Jeff usually makes a sweet potato dish. I'm not sure if he's making just like kind of baked sweet potatoes. Sometimes he does marshmallows. Sometimes I think he does like a blended thing. So, you know, that'll be a surprise. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. There'll probably be some other stuff, but stuffing.
Some potatoes.
Probably. Maybe. I'm not sure. I think the potatoes have been substituted for the shepherd's pie.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. All right.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually just went to a Friendsgiving at a friend's house. Not crazy enough. And yeah, nobody brought potatoes. It was a potato-less Thanksgiving.
Fucking
Friendsgiving.
outrage.
And it wasn't.
Outrage.
Oh my god, the food was so good, dude. Somebody made a squash dish that was it was delicata squash and butternut squash roasted with good stuff. It was delish. Somebody made I love cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce is one of the peak dishes for me. They made a dish, a cranberry, and it was awesome. And I was like, oh, you got to give me the recipe. Her secret ingredient was cardamom, but she also added a full cup of sugar for every bag of cranberries. And I was like, oh yeah, there's crack in it. Right. That's why this is so good. Okay. I forgot about that part. Because I love a tart cranberry sauce, and this one wasn't. And I just was like, oh my god, this is so yummy. I wasn't thinking about, oh yeah, it's because it's so sweet. It's good times though. And then Amy, the host, made a cornbread stuffing, which was delish. It was very, very, very good. And there was a bunch of other stuff.
Yep.
The turkey was kind of like not an afterthought, but it was just like, yeah, there's also this on the side. She just bought some slices of turkey and then warm them up.
Sure.
Instead of like making a whole big thing, which was just fine. Like it didn't didn't have to go through a whole big like half the day is cooking this turkey kind of thing. It's just here's a little bit
about a dry brine versus a wet brine.
Yeah. I've never tried a deep fried turkey. That does sound interesting.
Yeah, interesting is a word.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I am interested to try it, not to make it.
No.
After
you'd have to have enough. You'd have to have a big enough receptacle. That would be a problem.
Yeah.
And gallons of oil. After
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I'm gonna do something I haven't done for almost a year. I'm really excited about it.
Celebrate your birthday.
Not for a month.
No.
But yeah, I'm gonna go on a fast again.
Ooh.
I'm starting. I have for a long time been interested in and intrigued by the gut microbiome.
Uh-huh.
But more recently, I have learned more things that have gotten me really excited about kind of doing a little bit of a reset and starting and coming back from the reset. Like I've done a few resets. Every time I do a fast longer than 3 days, I'm doing a big gut reset, microbiome reset, because I'm giving when I'm on a fast, I'm having soluble fiber and insoluble fiber with my psyllium husk, which doesn't break the fast, but it feeds. I was taking it to get fats out of my system because it binds to fats and moves them through. Turns out it's also the favorite meal of the good bacteria in your gut, and the bad bacteria doesn't eat it. And the bad bacteria dies off in a couple days when you don't feed it sugar. So when you go on a 3-day fast, you're more or less killing off all the bad bacteria and making all the good bacteria thrive. And so that's really exciting. And I've like looking back on previous fasts, I've definitely noticed that. But then I just I don't really follow up with a microbiome centered diet. And I keep the psyllium husk going. That's kind of just a daily drink for me. But sugar will creep back in, and this and that, as not just like having it once in a while, but it creeps back in as in every day I'll have something sweet, and like that's where I've been at for a bit now, and it's I can tell it's not good for my gut. So my plan is that I'm going to, I've blocked off 2 weeks in my calendar that I'm going to be doing this fast. I don't know if I'll do it that whole time. I don't know if I'll stop at 2 weeks. We'll see. But after I'm done, I'm going to, get on this kind of, it's very Bean Protocol-esque, but with a couple tweaks of like 2 large helpings of fermented foods per day, like kimchi or sauerkraut or, anything fermented. And soluble and insoluble fibers. There's some supplements that I found from Unique that she's been taking recently. She did an episode of her podcast on with an expert on the microbiome who's been studying it for like 20 years, and it was so fascinating and inspiring and interesting. And so that's where I got a lot of my recent information and stuff that I'm planning on implementing. Other things, no saturated fats, because the saturated fats kind of feed the bad bacteria and also kind of glob on to the good bacteria and make them kind of useless. No ultra processed foods and sugars, because of course, trying to get 50 grams of fiber per day. And now I don't, and so that's feeding the good bacteria. I don't know if I'm going to actually count the macros on that. Sure. I hate that part. That makes me that's so unfun that it makes the whole process more difficult. So if I feel like if I just try to get a lot, then I'm going to be okay. And I'll definitely be getting a lot from the next step, which is a rainbow of color of foods, especially with the vegetables. So I'm focusing on
eat the rainbow.
Deep colors. So like purple potatoes and sweet potatoes and carrots and beets and other things that are very rich and deep and dark in their color. The next section, the protein section, this is going to be a big change for me. And this is kind of the last thing.
Here we go.
Is I'm going to mostly eat fish, eggs, and chicken for protein and avoid pork and beef. Mm-hmm. And that's a big change for me. I love my pork. Beef is fine. Beef's good. I'd try to eat beef so I'm not just eating pork.
Sure.
But I love pork. Yeah. So, and I historically have not been a fan of fish.
Right.
I have to be very particular about my fish. I actually have found a fish I like recently. New Seasons has a king salmon that is very tasty, and I can have even raw. So that's pretty great. So yeah, so I picked up some of the king salmon from New Seasons recently and made some sushi with it, and it was a hit in the cottage. So gonna be doing that. Eggs and chicken, that's great. I have that all the time. That's not a main problem, but there's kind of a mental thing change here of like, yeah, I'm gonna eat fish now. Like, it's just been not in my world. I really like sea bass. That's kind of my favorite fish, but it's harder to find.
Have you ever played around with tilapia? Or mackerel? I think both are two very good sort of meaty fish.
I don't think I have very much. I think there's a traditional fish eaten in like Nordic countries, typically around this time, or maybe it's for latfish. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, and I think for some reason I get that and tilapia mixed up.
Oh,
so I think, oh no, that's the I don't know if it's fermented or.
Oh yeah, no, they're big fans of stuff like roll mop herring. And pickled fish. Yeah, I do enjoy roll mop herring, but it's a very distinctive thing of its own. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but a tuna steak is a good thing as well.
A tuna steak.
Yeah,
I do enjoy tuna a little bit. Margaret wants to avoid it because of the mercury, or at least limit it, which I understand. I don't, she has to worry about that more than I do. For the pregnancy of it all. But yeah, fishy world coming up.
Fishy world. Yeah, that's a good place to be. Yeah, Are you a fan of fish? I don't know. I can get down. I can get down with some. Yeah, I'm not anti-fish.
Do you like sushi?
I do enjoy. So it was. When I was on holiday, I would have said no. Mm-hmm. But when I was on holiday this year, I did have some decent sushi. And I did enjoy it.
Where's and that was in I forgot
in Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. That's how I was gonna. That was on the tip of my tongue. I was like, if I get that wrong, what a weird.
I'm not gonna be upset. No.
You went to Europe, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's all the same.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm just joking. Just joking. It's not the same.
It's not the same. That was pretty good. I tried to do. It was a last minute thing, and I tried to pickle some ginger yesterday, but I really didn't know what I was doing, and so I just had some ginger and I tried to pickle it. But I also had the soy sauce and the rice wine vinegar and all that kind of stuff, and like just that on its own. I mixed that with some rice, like I had some leftover rice, and I just like threw some rice wine vinegar and some soy sauce in with the rice, and just had that, and it was just sharp and lovely.
Pickled ginger, dude. God, that's so good. Speaking of New Seasons, they used to have this hot wok bar where you could just grab a bowl, fill it up, and then they would cook it in their wok for you, and then they'd top it with whatever sauce you picked out, and then they put this little cup of pickled ginger in it, so you could optionally put it on top. And dang, dude, if that wasn't crack, like that's the second time I've used crack in this episode. That's weird. It was just so. I wish I could just get that. Just get a jar of that stuff.
Yes, please. When I was in Singapore in 2007, on a recommendation from my parents, my brother and I ate at a place called Hot Stone or something like Hot Stones. And it's literally you order some meats and they bring it out on a hot stone.
Cool.
And you cook your own meat.
Yes. Yeah.
And you just eat it off the stone, and that's it. So it sizzles itself, which is quite a neat little idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it was one of those things where it's like you want to be careful because you don't want to be ordering, because I don't know if my brother made the same mistake, but I know I ordered chicken and a couple of other things, and it's like the chicken takes much longer to cook.
Yeah, and you got to make sure
be
it's
managing
thoroughly.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting. Yeah, chicken you have to make sure it's so thoroughly cooked, but other meats not necessarily.
Not so much because of the bacteria.
Yeah. Why do chicken have worse bacteria or scarier bacteria?
Scarier bacteria.
Scarier bacteria. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The title.
I don't know. Is the answer? Is the answer to that one salmonella?
Yeah.
Sorry, I know it's rhetorical, but still, I feel I'm service orientated. I feel like I have to give you an answer. Yeah, man.
I appreciate you trying, and your honesty and your forthrightness. It's very appreciated.
There was in the 80s. There was a big salmonella crisis outbreak thing that I remember when I was a child, and it was it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think people were probably off chicken and eggs for quite a while.
Yeah. Here in the States, it's you got to get off spinach and some leafy greens, and because that's going to get you salmonella. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but
wow, why are they spraying salmonella on your veg? Why are they doing that?
It seems like
rude.
It seems counterproductive.
It does. I haven't had touch wood. I don't think I've had food poisoning in a long while. And that stuff is I've definitely had it like mild, where I've eaten from a couple of fast food restaurants here that do not change their oil.
Yeah.
Very often, if at all. It was something we discovered a while back. That apparently, so there's a favoured sausage here. I can't remember if we've discussed this before, but there's a favoured sausage called a Savoy, which I think might be similar to a kielbasa.
Okay.
In look, anyway, and it's very very smooth inside, but the outside, when you get it from like a chip shop, the outside has this the skin is really satisfyingly kind of crunchy. There's like a crunch to it as you bite through, and it's like, and then you've got this sort of very mushy middle, very soft middle, but this kind of slightly crunchy, waxy kind of skin. And it turns out that's not supposed to be like that. It's because they're kept out for so long in under the lamps and in oil and stuff. That they develop that sort of hardness. They're supposed to be a lot. Apparently, it's not supposed to be like quite so crunchy, and that's all just because of the way the food is mistreated. But it makes it beautiful.
Well, you'll have to have them all pulled out after the Savoy truffle.
So, hey, yes. Very good. The reference, as they say, acknowledged.
Wonderful.
So what else is in the news?
I don't know. What's new? What's new? What's going on?
It's rare for us to come to a complete standstill. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, do that.
Another reason I've been thinking about the microbiome
Yes.
is I've been reminded / heard some new things about how much their microbiome dictates body weight. And so I'm really interested in that in my body. You've heard of the poop transplants, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's all the whole it's the weirdest thing. Whoever thought of that? No idea. But like the whole point is to transfer the microbiome to the new person.
Yeah.
And that's just fascinating. I also heard that a gastric bypass has been shown, like, it helps people lose weight, not just because their stomach is smaller, but because it changes the microbiome. It cuts out a big area of the microbiome that is where the bad bugs stay, and the good bugs are left. And so that's why it can help people not only lose weight, but keep it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just super fascinating. I'm really excited to see if my new intention after the fast helps things turn around. Because I'm not like I'm a good size. I'm not worried about that. But like there's extra in my middle that doesn't need to be there, and I would like to use up that stored energy. It doesn't need to. Yeah. And adaptogens are not only okay on a fast and for the microbiome, but like they're apparently good for them. So I'm on this new thing that's going to help. I feel like a whole bunch of things are just aligning really well. Thanks, God. Thanks be to God.
For the science.
Yes, for the science. Thank you, God, for the science.
How is your relationship with the big lad at the moment?
It's going well. I feel unencumbered by it, unpressured by, like, it just feels so easy now. It's just just easy. Just like I really like some of the mindset shifts that have happened from just kind of accepting, and believing is an interesting word to use.
And I'm interested in what are you accepting?
Accepting the accepting my place in the grand scheme of things, accepting the guidance and mindset shifts or oh man, what is the words for it? I don't know. I should probably have that for a medium where I'm speaking. But it's kind of,
you're not on trial here.
It's kind of hard to explicitly say. It just feels so correct. Like I'm not as I've mentioned many times. Like I struggle with the idea of being a Christian. I'm very recently interested in the Quakerism of it all, and you know, when I think of God, God isn't a dude who dictates like and wags his finger. It's creation. It's everything. And when I'm thinking of following God, I'm thinking I'm the cell of a larger multi-celled organism, and I'm in harmony with everything around me, and I'm flowing properly. I'm not a virus to the larger system. I am a healthy microbiome cell, and I'm doing the good things that the larger body of the universe or of God wants and needs.
Into the mycelial network.
Exactly. And the more I am flowing with, and so like, different religions have their different guidelines, but like stepping back from that and their particularities is a word I'm coining right now, that that feel to me very man-made, but there are these commonalities between them all that feel very universal. And so I'm trying to follow the very universal ideas of kindness, generosity, connection to community, giving to the poor, and these kind of things that just feel correct and good to do. And the more I do them, the more I'm entering into that on a daily basis, the more everything in the world feels like it's flowing correctly and coming my way, and like I'm feeling more lucky. I'm feeling like things are happening at the right time for the right reason. Things are easier, and it feels like it's because I've become more generous, more accepting, more present to whatever is happening. One thing I've really liked that's been very stress relieving is a lot of what at least Imago as a church has been teaching around money. And they just recently had this campaign to raise money for them to rebuild to repair their facilities. And during it, they had different sermons on money, and they had classes for like your own home finances to get better with those and other things. And one thing that they brought up a couple times is they'll talk about like, the philosophy of donating to the church and tithing and these kind of things, or giving to the poor directly or however, and they brought up the concept of it's not your money, it's God's money. You're the steward of it. I think you're pixelated right now, so I can't really tell. It looked like you kind of scrunched your face at that idea.
Yeah, that could get fucked. But go for it. I will hear it. I will hear it all.
Since I've tried to put on that shirt and try it on for a bit, I've been giving more to the church, which, like, I'm really happy to. All the people are great. The facilities are great. What they're doing with what they have is incredible. And whether it's Christian oriented and related or not, it's a place I believe in. So that feels really good to me. I've also been giving way more to people on the street who are asking for money or begging or whatever. And I have been conflicted back and forth about that kind of thing before, of just like, the obvious things come up of like, oh, they're just going to buy booze or whatever with it. But that's also like, who cares? Like they're going to, they need something. They're asking for this thing. And I have some, and I'm happy to share. Like they're going to do what they need to do with it, and that's fine. It's not my place or problem to dictate what they do with anything. But yeah, I've been giving more to just random people, like quite a bit more, substantially more. I usually only carry 20s on me, so I'm handing a person a 20, and I probably do that probably like maybe 4 or 5 times a week at this point. Maybe 3 to 4 times a week. And I don't know, since I've been doing that, good things have been coming my way, dude. The car settlement, the car accident settlement went really well. Some things have just, I don't know. There's been other things I can't really remember at this time, but not just money coming in, but finding the right thing and having time to rest and relax has come and been easy. And it's all just been feeling really good. It's all been feeling really good. I like it.
I'm delighted by that.
Yeah. And I don't feel like I'm suffering a loss. Like I don't miss that $20, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the person who receives it, like, they're surprised and delighted, and I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
And there was a sermon that Chris was giving, or Pastor Chris, Pasta. He was giving a sermon about on the spot where Imago, where the building we were in was constructed, before it was made. There was a gathering of the people there, and they were talking about like how we need so much money to be able to build this building so that we can continue this to go. And the people gathered there just emptied their wallets and made this fantastic building because of the generosity. And then he brought up a I don't remember what book it was from, but he brought up a passage from the Bible about a very similar event. It might have been around King David's time. I don't remember. But people just came up and they emptied their wallets, and they didn't have wallets, but they brought all they gave everything they had. And I felt moved and compelled by the Spirit. I don't know. Didn't really have a name for it. Just like, oh, I can hear clearly that this is what I'm being asked to do. And so as he finished his sermon and he's about to start his prayer, I walk up from the back of the what's the name of the room? It's not a cathedral. It's a
chapel.
Ceremony. Chapel. It's bigger than a chapel. Anyways, from the hall that we're in, and
vestibule.
I emptied my wallet to the stage, and it was funny because it was during it ended up being during the prayer, so everybody's eyes were closed. They didn't see me do it, which is kind of funny. And then Chris opens his eyes and he's like, somebody just put cash here on the stage. Don't touch it. And sometimes the Spirit works in weird ways. Anyways, come up and have your Eucharist. And then during the communion, as people came up and had their things, I think it was 37 people also came up and dropped cash into this pile on the stage. And it was $1,500 that came to the church from that. And it was, I don't know. It just feels good. The money, clinging to the money, clinging to the idea of this is my cash, I earned this is mine. Is very, selfish is not the right word. It's othering. It's separate. It's like, that's yours and this is mine. I like I'm seeing like through the matrix now. It feels like a bit more of like, oh, you know, if we're all interconnected, if we're all, and I believe that we are, and this form of barter, this form of energy or whatever is it's I'm in charge of it, but it's not necessarily my possession. So it's been easier for me to let go of without needing to make sure that I get mine in return, because I feel safe. I feel that nothing bad's going to happen to me. It's a very privileged place to be, but I have privilege, so I should use it for good.
Well done to you.
Thank you. Yes. Feels good.
Yeah.
What else is going on with you? Or are you feeling kind of like with your cold and sleepiness that it's hard to speak right? I feel like I feel the urge to speak more and like take over talking for both of us so that you don't have to. But I also want to know what's going on with you.
What's going on with me right now is a very difficult sort of interplay, because I'm hearing, and yes, I have a bias, but I'm also hearing language that I can have identified with myself over the last few years.
Yeah.
And the idea of the charismatic leader or leaders who don't call themselves necessarily a leader or leaders, who ask you to part with with your money, and I think I bristled, and I bristled, but at the same time I also am interested in the idea of money as something temporary that you are a custodian of. I don't hate that idea.
Yeah. Neither.
But it's not God's money, because
sure.
No.
Yeah. I mean, we have different ideas of what God is.
Yeah. I think that's sometimes a convenience to say a different idea of what God is.
Tell me more.
Well, I haven't believed in God for 30 years.
Yeah.
But I don't count myself as an atheist, because that feels a tad arrogant. But happy to consider myself agnostic. But I believe the burden of proof. I think the only reason that so many people default to God is because that's been the default position for thousands of years. So of course it's what everybody thinks of as the default, meaning those of us who don't believe have to justify why we don't believe, and it's the burden of proof is not on us.
I'm curious what you're not believing, because I don't feel like I believe in God. I'm one with the universe. So like what is God to you that you don't believe in?
I don't believe in God. I don't believe in I don't believe in a God.
Okay.
I don't believe.
Define God.
I don't think we need something with a capital G. Well, it's not. I don't need to. It's not on me to define, because I'm not. You're asking me to believe in something I don't believe in, and give you a definition of something I don't believe in. So why do I need to define something I don't believe in?
But I don't think that there's anything to believe in. So I'm curious. Like you're the one saying I don't believe, and I'm like, okay, well then what is the thing what is it that you don't believe? I'm not coming from the position of God as a default at all. I'm similar history to you, in that churches and religions and everything were super toxic and damaging, and never liked the idea of the white guy in a beard up in the clouds. That's certainly not what I believe in. I don't.
And yet you go to something every week that worships that very idea. And I'm not saying that by the transitive property you worship that, but you spend a lot of time
in the humanoid form. They definitely worship and praise Jesus as the physical representation of God. But they, there's also the factor
who existed as a person who was personified in both the Old and the New Testament.
No, nobody was personified in the Old Testament.
God was. God was specifically. He gave Noah a task. Noah spoke to God, a person. And Moses received messages from a burning bush, which was the voice of God.
Right, and the voice and speaking is not a personification. It's
that's almost the definition of what a personification is. It's a person.
No,
it's a person communicating and giving commandments and giving tasks.
But no, it wasn't a person doing that. It was just a voice in their head. It was simply in their head as something to understand. It wasn't English or Aramaic or Greek or whatever they had. It wasn't in a language. It was just an understanding.
That's a good modern interpretation, but I don't think that's the intention. I think that's a good modern 2000s interpretation. But I don't think that's not what is being worshipped. I think that's part of what this is. I think it's slightly.
Why does it matter what everybody else is thinking or worshiping?
Because that's what a religion is. It's a church is a collection of people who subscribe to the same belief.
I mean, a church is a group of people who are worshiping. Yeah, it doesn't. We're not necessarily all worshiping the same thing, and we don't have to. A good church isn't going to dictate that you have to believe this exact same thing. Our church is welcome to Buddhists and Catholics and every whatever.
Welcome to them, yes, but that's not what they teach.
Okay.
When they deliver sermons, they're not delivering wisdom from the Buddha, for example.
That's not necessarily true, and a good place, a good church isn't going to do that. A bad church is going to be very much like this. Hammering, you have to believe in this, and that is very it's appropriate for the people that need that. Some people need that guidance, and maybe that is good for them. And I've
gone to a lot of churches because of having a Catholic family, and none of them have taught the wisdom of the Buddha, for example.
Yeah, I mean, like he is seen as another teacher, another person. It's
but not the main one.
Well, no, of course not the main, but the main one. They like their guy. Jesus he's very popular.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not the only authority of good things to have ever happened in the world. Yeah. So, have you been to a lot of Catholic churches, or have you been to a lot of other types of churches, non-denominational?
Yeah, I've been to Methodist churches as well, and Church of England, which would be closer to, or Protestant, which would be closer to Lutheran, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've been to, I was many years ago, a humanist funeral. God's the main guy. And he is the one that gets worshipped. Now, your particular church is very much on the Jesus front, and obviously, Catholicism, the big symbol is your dude on a cross.
Yeah.
But they are praying to God, "How art in heaven, hallowed is thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trestresses, as we forgive those who trespass against us." It sticks. It sticks in the brain.
Are you saying sticks with a snotty nose? Or are you saying stinks as in smells bad?
No, I was saying sticks. STICKS.
Okay, sticks. I was like, it stinks. It stinks. I wasn't like,
it stinks in the brain.
I don't know. What's that? What's that bad? I think it's bad. I think it's bad when a person's mental model is that of something really, really unpleasant or disagreeable or not understandable. But I don't believe that I have to believe the same thing everybody else around me does. We can worship. The act of worshiping is fucking fantastic. It feels good. And that's the point of going. That's giving praise, giving gratitude, and practicing acceptance and openness and being connected. These are what I go to this gathering for. And sure, a lot of maybe a bunch of people think that there's a dude in the sky. Maybe some people think it's a worm in the ground. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're all singing along to these worship songs and listening with interest and intent and openness to a sermon that isn't about like, oh man, I so wish you could come, or you could view the sermons online. They're really great. They're not very focused on a God or telling you what to believe. They use Chris often uses a book from the Bible to talk about daily life and to talk about to bring it up as a prompt for much more to talk about and ways to grow in one's living, not in order to gain power for the church somehow, but to enhance all of our lives. That's, it's in the vein of everything is everything. It's just good. It's just good advice, good food for thought, good motivation. It's very challenging and interesting. For me, very similar to you. I've had a lot of the same arguments that you're giving me. When I first started going there, I was making a list every time of everything that I disagreed with or had an issue with or was triggered by. Every time he would speak and use these different words, I was like, okay, I've got to translate this into that because this other thing is acceptable to me. But the words he used are not acceptable to me based on my trauma. And so I have to unpack that and change that. And over time, that has evaporated away. I don't keep a list of my doubts anymore. There's not really anything to doubt. It's just good stuff going on.
I'm delighted for you.
Thank you for being delighted for me.
I am. You deserve happiness and wholeness.
Likewise.
And if that's what you're finding, then that's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. And you've got your own church. You're singing your worship songs too. You're just in a different way. I can't see your face anymore because it's hidden behind the microphone. I don't.
Giving you a side eye.
Do you disagree?
Yeah, I don't. It's a loaded word for me. I don't. It's
Sure.
not that I don't. It's not that I disagree. It's just it's a loaded word.
Worship?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it?
Especially
what's it mean for
as the idea again. It's words like gratitude, words like joy, those kinds of things are perfectly cromulent, but the idea of worship is too coded in the amount of times I've sat in pews and someone at the front has gone, "Oh God, you are so big, you're brilliant, we are just peons," and there's a whole like Monty Python meaning of life thing about this. You know, we must look like ants from down here or something, you know, and I know that is an idea that is only one way of looking at things, but that is the association that I have with churches. And for me, and this is part of you know, I'm pulling some punches here because I've been in this position for the last 5 years where I've gone in somewhat kicking and screaming or somewhat very, very skeptical and gone, I need this stuff translated because the words they're using don't feel like the words that I'm using.
Yeah.
And I'm not connecting. There's some kind of shared value that we're connecting with here.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of other stuff here that I'm cringing at or I'm finding distasteful or whatever. And
I agree. Same was for me.
The difficulty, and I'm not, this is my experience and I'm not suggesting that this is yours. My experience with a lot of that has been when I push back, I'm told that the problem is me, which is not unusual within religion, because you know you've got demons or you've got you have sin and you need to be cleansed, and you know
this is classic toxic church.
And then it's the dogma that is not necessarily specifically Catholic dogma, but the dogma of this specific church. Like I went through this whole thing, and like I'm not coming out being like I need to be deprogrammed or I need to like I don't need to warn anyone off, you know, the organization that I was a part of, and I'm sort of not using them by name now because I don't want to shame them, because they act from a good place, but they also act from a place, I think, of ego. And you know, you may disagree with this, but like, what's more egoic than a guy putting himself at the front of the congregation and delivering the stuff from the book, and you know, everybody turn and look at me. It used to be, I don't know why, but it used to be that the priests faced away from the congregation. I can't remember why, and there was a specific reason.
I mean, that's just bad stagecraft.
That's just bad, yeah, exactly.
Always face the audience.
And everything was in Latin. I mean, come on. So you know, there's a you know, I think there's a lot of that, but it's also dressed up as, well, I'm merely a humble servant of God, and the community I've been in is a similar kind of thing. You know, people will sort of do the, hey, no, these are just ideas, and it's like, yes, but if I have different ideas, there is a social pressure here to conform, and that is not necessarily enforced in some kind of evil way. But it's something I realized a couple of days ago. went along with what I thought I was supposed to go along with, not because I'm weak-willed,
No.
not because I don't have a sense of who I am, but because the fear that not doing so would mean
Banishment.
some kind of excommunication exactly from the tribe.
For sure.
And no one's sat there cross-armed and going, whatever. But the pushback is often, it's very seldom, if ever, met with, that's an interesting perspective, maybe you're right. It's or maybe we'll think about it. It's almost always met with, no, that's a toxic story that you've been telling yourself. Like, the amount of times...
That's not what you think I'm saying, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
I definitely don't think it's a story you're telling yourself. I think you went through actual toxicity. Like, I think, especially the Catholic Church. But what you have experienced has taken a kernel of interesting, whether it's truth or an idea, and massively extrapolated it into a tool of manipulation. And I think that's what you're experienced with, because it's what I was experienced with, and the way you talk is similar to how I've felt. And you have not experienced a group of people using that in a different way.
I said the same thing, dude.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I have said the same thing. I've had the same conversations with people, and I've gone, no, you like, these guys are really good. And I'm not, again, like, I'm really trying hard to like, it's one thing to draw parallels, it's another thing to be like, this is the same thing, because it's not the same thing. But I know that I've made the same justifications. I've made the same arguments, and I've said, though, these guys, they're actually really decent, and they're it's you're misunderstanding. No, it's not this. No, I'm obviously not explaining it properly, or you're not understanding it properly. No, it's actually this really, really cool thing, and everybody's free to. But after a while, I started to see things not work for me, and where I worry a little bit is, like, there's one thing giving, and I think it's wonderful walking around and giving people money. I don't know that. I mean, it's your money. You do you. Funneling that through the institution, having given a few grand away, not just to these particular gurus, but to other gurus. Over the last 5 years, who all told me they had the answer. It's difficult for me to sit with in comfort and silence, and not think about where things might be in a few years or a different time or whatever. And I'm just again, like, there's nothing to be done here. Yeah. Because I'm not out here, like, there's no way I'm going to, like, change your mind, even if changing your mind were my goal, because it's not.
And likewise.
I'm mainly just, I think, making it known, putting it on record for the listener and maybe for myself, and to say that if ever you find it's not working for you, or you're not getting what you need from it, I will never say I told you so, because I get it. And I don't feel as wholesome about it as you do. But I will, I love you, and I support you, and I appreciate you.
Likewise, brother. And as always, walk the path with wonderment, a special type of energy. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Go Hawks.
Oh, boy.
Go Hawks. Go Hawks. Go Hawks. I just needed to cleanse that. Go Hawks. That's better.